How y'all doing? I'm back again, but it's a little different this time. It's more intimate, more up close and personal. I had this idea that came out of nowhere, and I wanted to just start a new series. I love to give advice. No, I'm not 50 years old. I'm not old, and you know what I'm saying? They say the older you are, the more that you know. You can learn things from people from all walks of life, all ages, children. You can learn a lot from children. So I feel that I have a lot in here and a lot in here to give, a lot of advice, a lot of love, a lot of encouragement, and that's what this idea stemmed from. I was literally laying in bed and I was thinking about, this whole YouTube thing is new for me, and I'm enjoying it. But, my foundation is a notary. I've been, sharing my notary journey and everything and that whole aspect of things. But I was always thinking about, okay, what else can I contribute to people who like me or women like me or just the community around me or just in general. And I just had this idea of just talking about topics that we all, go through on the day-to-day basis, things like that. So the one topic that geared this whole idea is change and evolution within relationships. So when you're in a relationship and your husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend is changing or is going through a change or is evolving, how do we handle that? What do you do? It's scary. So I wrote down notes because when I start talking about stuff I'm passionate about, I can sometimes go off on tangents and end up one, not saying everything that I needed to say, two, again, missing things, just kind of getting jumbled up. It just doesn't make sense. So I had to make a plan of how to gear this conversation. So, and I was wondering, okay, what else can I kind of make this into a vibe? So if you have ideas, I was thinking of wine and wind down and talk. Like each episode, I would have a different type of wine that I would try, like a local wine or a black-owned wine company or something like that. Then I was thinking, I'm not drinking wine all the time, so I don't know if I want to be doing it every week. I love tea. I said, okay, maybe I'll call it tea and talk or something like that. Tea, I love tea. Yes. I don't know. This is just the first one. I'm going to come up with what this is going to be called, what the vibe is going to be, but it's just going to be me and you. Me and you, that's it. So, let's get to it. Change and evolution in relationships. At the end of the day, yes, you get married to someone, you're in a long-term relationship with someone, or situationship, however you want to call it, you're together. But we have to remember that we are also individuals that have an individual journey. And although yes, when you're living together, you're as one in a sense, but we forget that I'm gonna go through things as a person, and my significant other is gonna go through things as an individual. They're gonna feel things. They're going to have challenges that you don't have on a daily basis when they go out into the world, go to work, or just dealing with people in general that we don't have control over. So I believe we as partners, whether you're the male or female, however you want to get it, we have to remember that at the end of the day, we are individuals. We're together, but we are still alone. And it's kind of sad. It sounds sad, but that's the truth. We are all alone on this earth. We are all I am one person. There's nobody connected to me. So I'm the only person that can get up in the morning, get myself up in the morning. I'm the only person that can go out, go to work, and choose to live. Nobody can choose that for you. So remembering that's number one, that you are an individual first. But when you're before you get into a relationship, sometimes we forget ourselves. Don't forget yourself. You come first, because as that saying goes, how can I love you if I don't love myself?
Okay.
Right? Okay, number two, fear of change. It's scary. So when that evolution comes about, when you see this person kind of changing a little bit, you get afraid a little. It's because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going through their head. Outside looking in, it's scary. We fear change. A lot of people fear change just in general. It doesn't have to do with somebody, a different person connected to them changing. It's just we fear change. I mean, some of us, just like the world has changed over the last 2 years, it just changed drastically. A lot of fear around that. So when your person comes to you and they have this idea or this feeling in them that says, hey, I want to change this about my life, or I want to change this aspect of myself, I want to go on a diet, I want to stop drinking, stop smoking, I want to go to therapy, any type of change, whether it's big or small. When that person comes to you, if they come to you, and I hope they do, when you sit down, let them talk through it. Let them tell you how they feel. Let them tell you their motivations of wanting to change. Let them tell you how they want to do it. Just listen. Sit and listen. Don't try to steer the conversation where you might want it to go. Don't try to influence another thought or another, direction for them. Just hear them out. Let them get it out. Let them express themselves. Let them go through the emotions that they want to go through in that moment. You as a partner, that's your job to support them wholeheartedly and to listen to them and to hear them out. So when they come to you and they're saying, hey, I want to be a vegan, or hey, I hate my job. I want to quit my job and I want to get into something else. It is up to you. Yes, it may sound scary, but let them talk. Let them talk through it. Let them figure it out in their heads. Let them come to terms on their own, because they may even answer their own question, or if there's a problem, them talking through it, they may solve their own problem. Let them talk. They've talked through it, they've told you about it. How do you support someone, your partner, your wife, husband? How do you support them? Well, you can support them in a lot of ways. One, I think is one of the most important ways is supporting from a distance. A lot of times, so this is a change, an evolution that they're going through. And if it's not something that you're totally going through or you don't relate, don't try to involve yourself in their change or in their process. Sometimes, there may be cases where it's nothing that you can't stop. There may be cases where there's nothing you can do. And so, for instance, they want to lose weight. They want to get to the gym more often. But you don't like going to the gym, or you don't feel like you need to lose weight, or there's maybe some reason why you physically can't go to the gym. Support them from a distance. If you want to go ahead, something as small as asking them, hey, you want me to remind you, give you a little, encouragement every day. Hey, if you went to the gym today, or if you just want to, drop them off, pick them up, or, asking them, hey, what'd you do? How'd you work out today? How much weight how many calories did you lose? What'd you work on today? Small things. The small things like that matter the most, because then they feel like you care. and they feel like you support them, although you're not actively involved in what they have going on. You're still thinking about them, and that makes them feel good, and that makes them think that I'm gonna keep going because I have a team behind me. So, and I would say also, like, for example, someone who decides to go to therapy because there's some emotional imbalance that they feel in themselves, but it's best for them to go to therapy instead. That's a situation where it's a bit more iffy, because you don't want to interfere with their therapy process. So asking them, what did you talk about, or what did you go over today? That might be a bit much. I don't know, unless they volunteer that information to you. I would just simply ask them, how did it go today, or how are you feeling? Just let them know, hey, if you want to talk, I'm here. But leave that to the job of the therapist or a psychiatrist, whoever. That's something where it's a bit more complex. So again, all in all, supporting from a distance is not a bad thing. It's basically giving that person space to breathe, space to grow, to change, and to evolve. So when a person is going through a change, first of all, we humans, we all are selfish in some kind of way. We have a little or a lot of selfishness in us. So when our person says, hey, I want to change this about myself, blah blah blah, we get fearful sometimes, and then we unfortunately we start to think about ourselves, and we start to make it about us versus them, and them going through what they need to go through. So when that happens, we have to learn how to separate ourselves from the situation. Can't make it about me. I can't think about, oh, is he gonna change? Oh, he's not gonna like me anymore, or he's gonna want something different down the road, or if I'm not going through the change that he's going through, am I a bad person? No. You cannot include yourself in his development or her development, whomever. When they go through that change, we have to have that confidence has to step in, and totally separating ourselves from the situation, and totally knowing that it's not about you. This is not about you. And unless he or she is giving you signs that they're changing and they're kind of moving away from you, that's a whole different situation, but in conversation. But if they make it clear to you that, hey, this is about me and my life, and I want to change this aspect of my life, it has nothing to do with you. I don't even need you to be involved. Just be there from a distance. We have to have that self-esteem and that confidence, and set the selfishness aside, and be, confident enough and say, hey, okay, I'm here for you, and I know this is not about me. I know that nothing's going to change between our relationship. If anything, it may make it stronger. If anything, it'll influence me to go through a change, or to finally be strong enough to, okay, I've been wanting to do this in my life. I see my partner going through this change. Let me start the change that I wanted, because he or she is influencing me to be better. So set the selfishness aside, pick up the confidence, and remember that it's not about you. So it's kind of coming to the end, I think I hit a lot of main points. The gist of all of this is, when your partner is wanting to change and evolve, be their support system. Don't make it about yourself. Let them talk through it. Use your confidence, put your selfishness aside. The key is to grow with them. Let them be themselves. Let them flourish and be that foundation and that stability for them that backbone to, just make them feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey, I don't like this this piece of my life. I want to alter it a little bit. And just, even if it's something that you absolutely don't agree with, you don't want them to do it, you just can't tell them that. You can't, in that first conversation when they come to you about it, you can't say, well, I don't agree with that. Well, why do you want to do that? Really? No, that is I believe that's the total opposite of a support system. You gotta let them go through it. And if it comes out in the end to be a big mistake, or they end up hurting themselves, or, it just doesn't work out, that's their life and that's the decision that they made. And it's up to you to be there for them. Now, it's, again, I would say it's a bit more complex when it comes to career change, because if you're married, that affects both of you. That affects your household and your family. So that's a whole different conversation, I would say. But in general, if a person is going through a small change in their life, or just a change of themselves, let them go through it. Because if it were you, what would you want them to do? You would want them to do the same thing. Listen to you, let you talk, grow with you, support you, give you space. Let it happen. Because if you keep that person from growing, I feel that later on down the road, they're gonna feel like they haven't done anything with their life, or they feel like there's unfinished business, and that may just tear you guys apart because they feel like you're keeping them away from growth, or keeping them away from some type of expansion. So yeah, this is the first video of, I feel like, this new series I have going on. I have a lot up here, a lot to give, so I'm gonna give it. Here it is. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe every Friday I'll try to put up a video. I feel like this is the perfect end to a week, because this week has been woo. So yeah. Oh, trust the process. Trust the process. Trust that your partner is going to do everything that they need to do. Trust that it's going to work out. Trust that the growth that they're going to attain is going to benefit not only you, but your union. Trust yourself that at the end of it all, you'll still be the most beautiful person to them, as you were before. Let it happen. Change is going to come. We change every year. Your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, there's going to be change, and it's going to be scary, but let it happen, because hopefully it's for the best, and there's nothing but growth that comes out of it. So I will check you guys next week, hopefully next Friday. I have so many more topics to hit. Yeah, so that's me. Deuces.